Great, today we're going to talk about muscle cramps. Now, this is a condition that plagues millions of people across the world, and one of our most frequented queries about muscle cramps in our parents, our aging parents, children, teenagers, young adults, girls, boys, men, women. What we need to understand that muscles involuntarily contract and sometimes cause muscle spasms. Now, consciously we contract a muscle, we relax it, it's all good. But when your muscles start doing it involuntarily because of some trigger or the other, we have a problem. So what we're trying to understand is we can go on taking medicines and painkillers and all of these things, but it only gets worse and worse if we don't address the root cause. Now, what we're going to understand is why this happens and what we can do naturally to overcome this. The number one problem is a deficiency. Usually most problems in the human body stems from a deficiency of maybe one vitamin, one trace mineral, or a couple of them. Vitamin D3. We see a deficiency of vitamin D3 in one of every two people who come to us every single day. If you have a deficiency of vitamin D3, we need to understand that vitamin D3 is not only for your bones. It is for several activities in the human body. It is also today not just called a vitamin, but a precursor hormone, which means a lot of hormones in your body depend on the right amount of vitamin D3 in your body. So vitamin D3 deficiency. Number two, zinc. Zinc is literally like a trace mineral. We need a very small quantity of zinc in the body, which we can find in our normal foods like nuts and seeds, green leafy vegetables, grains and stuff like that. If we have a deficiency in zinc and we correct it, we may take care of that. And even vitamin B12. But vitamin B12 has a role in the neurological function of our brain. But understand that every muscle contraction first starts off in the brain. So it starts off in the brain, there's a chemical transmitter message which is sent to your muscle to perform the action. So if we even have low vitamin B12 levels, even a 1% drop of water in your body can cause this problem. Now, people who are doing dry fasting, Ramadan and all of that stuff, they don't wake up with cramps or experience cramping because they're fasting, because they do it in an organized cycle. When you intermittent or dry fast in an organized cycle, your body knows that this is my fasting phase. And in the building phase, it utilizes water for all of your activities. But if you start fasting one day at 6 in the evening, the next day at 9, the next day at midnight, then your body doesn't know whether you're fasting, whether you're starving yourself, and it moves into stress mode. So we shouldn't get confused about that. The human body requires water. So if you're dry fasting, make sure you have the right amount of hydration in the building phase, and in the fasting phase, you can be off water. Now, if you have a problem of weak muscles, you're going through heavy medication and stuff like that, that causes water to flush out of your system like a diuretic, then that's not a good time for you to fast anyway. So if you're fasting, make sure you do it under supervision, the right way, at the right time. The third is lack of rest. Okay, I know a sedentary lifestyle today is the number one cause of most issues, but also because people don't rest enough. They're standing too long, or they have heavy workouts, or they run, they do all these activities, and they don't have enough of sleep at night, rest and recovery. So when you're training your body hard, if you don't have the right amount of recovery, your muscles can actually go into spasm. Or what happens is you deplete a lot of magnesium. And because you deplete magnesium, that is also one deficiency which immediately moves to leg cramps. I think sometimes only putting magnesium into the life of someone who's going through muscle cramping in the calf area automatically solves the problem, because magnesium has everything to do with muscle contraction again. So the root cause of the problem could be a deficiency in magnesium, and many of us are deficient in magnesium today. When we drink too much of tea, too much of coffee, we'll have less water, we don't have the right kind of diet because we're doing some extremes that are depriving us of certain fruits or certain macronutrients. We get deficient in magnesium, and magnesium has the function of more than 300 to 500 functions in the human body. So just the deficiency of magnesium can cause a problem. Now, how do you know that you're deficient in magnesium? Do you really need to spend money and do a medical test? No. The simplest test to do is fill a bucket with warm water up to knee level and put about 50 to 100 grams of Epsom salt, also called magnesium sulfate. You'll get this in the pharmacy for less than 10 rupees. You put about 50 to 100 grams, I would say 100 grams in this bucket, and you soak your legs, your calf muscles right up to your knee in this bucket of Epsom salt for about 15 minutes. The next day, if you wake up without these cramps and you start feeling better, you know that you have a magnesium deficiency. That's one of the best ways to do it. And if you also have a lot of calf pain and muscle spasms, using an Epsom salt bath is fantastic for relieving the pain from your system. Flexibility. The calf muscles tend to get tight very, very easy if we don't stretch them the right way. So stretching, yoga, flexibility training for your calf muscles will basically remove the knots from your calf muscles. Right now, you can know if your calves are tight if you just take your thumb and in the center or side of your calf, you start putting a little bit of pressure and rotating it. If you feel a sharp pain happening, you know right now that you have knots in them and the muscle is tight. Only by releasing that, the pain should start to get better and even disappear. People who are suffering from diabetes, uncontrolled diabetes, or they're on diabetic medicine for a long time and they're unable to control it, hypothyroidism, okay, these are issues. Even heavy drinking and alcoholism will create muscle spasming in the calf and the leg area as well. So we want to realize that. Sleep and recovery is so important for your muscles because we need to understand that all muscles grow and recover. In fact, every one of your trillion cells grow, recover, rejuvenate, repair, die, grow again. All this happens only when the body is in a complete state of relaxation. So today, one of the most powerful drugs on the planet that is really free is the ability to sleep well and relax. If you have the ability to put your body into a state of complete relaxation, be it through your sleep, be it through one of the best yoga asanas, also called Shavasana, complete relaxation, you enable the intelligence of your body to start healing you, your muscles, your cells, and everything else. Magnesium can be found in nuts and seeds. So if you're eating a balanced diet that contains all your food groups of nuts, seeds, fruits, whole grains, lentils, legumes, and your lean protein either from a vegetarian source or an animal source, believe me, you will not have a deficiency of magnesium. Water. Dehydration is huge. Even a 1% drop of water in your system will create a problem. Please understand this. A 1% drop of water will create dehydration and your muscles need them. Most people get tired during their workouts. They start failing during their workouts because they're dehydrated. Their muscles and cells are dehydrated. And the moment they have magnesium, they have a little bit of pink salt to their water, they start getting that energy back. So you need to understand the role of water in preventing these cramps and the cramping that happens. Move more. If you're sedentary, you don't use your calf muscles, you don't use the muscles in your body, they will stop supporting you. They'll get tighter and tighter. And as they get tighter, you'll have more and more pains. So movement. Now, one of the most powerful external applications that you can use on your calf muscles is a mix of 4 to 5 drops of nutmeg oil. Nutmeg essential oil mixed with a little bit of coconut oil or sesame oil. You may want to warm up that oil, not the nutmeg oil, but the carrier oil, which is sesame and coconut. You may want to warm it up for a few seconds because the warmer the oil, the more your muscles can absorb it. Add 4 to 5 drops of essential nutmeg oil. Massage it into your calves in a circular motion before you sleep. And I can guarantee you, I can promise you that in most cases, your pain will reduce. Will it take away your pain completely? Nope. It will relieve the pain because you need to get to the root cause of what's causing the pain. For some people, it's an autoimmune disorder. For some people, it's flexibility issues, dehydration, deficiencies of the vitamins that we just spoke about, poor posture, and all of these things. So these are the most simplest and powerful lifestyle changes that you can make when you start going through this. Now, certain medications, of course, when you're going through chemo and radiation and heavy chemical drugs, it can cause neuropathy, which can cause tightness of muscles, nerves, and all of that stuff. That requires a completely different protocol of approach, but the same lifestyle changes that we just discussed can make you feel much better. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep.